And what's up, everybody? This is Francis over here from Playeressence.com. Welcome to another episode of Player Essence Cross Nintendo. Every single Thursday, bringing you guys the best vidcast / podcast across the internet, based on Nintendo, of course. So let's go ahead and let's get right into the original content that we have on the PE network. Mizzah Tee has some new intros that he wants to tell you guys about. He's been having some issues with his capture card, so he's been a little bit slow in getting some of his reviews up, but bear with him and head over to his channel and check out some of the new intros that he's looking at doing and what's going on with his capture card, just so you can get the dates and times and timetables when he's actually going to have some of those reviews up that he promised. All right, next we're going to move on to Brayden Cole, which Brayden, I think, is a little upset this weekend. I'm not really sure. There's been some things going on, but I think he's okay. He has a lot of videos and stuff that he wants to talk about, mainly talking about the Nintendo fan base, some of the more extreme Nintendo fans. Definitely check out his videos and hear what he has to say, and make your own decisions on how you feel about things. All right, and finally, we're going to go ahead and discuss Nintendo, the Zen Gamer. He had a couple of really interesting videos, especially the ones part 1 and part 2 of the Nintendo industry. He basically outlined some things to why he feels that Nintendo definitely runs the industry. And you can check out what he has to say as far as what he thinks about that and his reasonings and his examples and all of that good stuff like that. So you can check that out when you get a chance. Also, on my other channel, my PE reviews channel, I did do a review of Kid Icarus Uprising with some really shoddy editing going on. I don't know what was going on, but it's not the best editing. I got to go back and touch up a couple things, but it's still a good review. I get my point across. But anyway, I also have some new stuff that I uploaded on the channel. If you didn't see it, I have my indie retro time show that I got going this week. That's on Trine 2. Have that already uploaded, plus some online gameplay, multiple gameplay modes of Dr. Luigi if you're interested in maybe purchasing that game. $15 on the eShop. And Trine 2 is on sale right now for $7.99. So, both great games that you can pick up. Check out me playing them if you're interested, and that's on this channel right here, not my PE review channel. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the Nintendo news desk. That is the best Nintendo news for the week. And we got some pretty good stuff here. Now, there were so many articles, guys. Since Monday, I have done over 100, I think 130 something to 140 articles. This is the most I've ever done. I've ramped up my production, so bear with me. You're going to have to head over to Playeressence.com if you want all the best Nintendo news, because it would take me seriously like 5 hours to get through all the Nintendo news for this week. There is a ton. So many articles. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the Japanese sales. So for 2013, the Wii U did not sell very well in Japan. It started off okay, but in 2013, it kind of just took a slide, and it was selling really bad, way underneath the PS3. But somehow Nintendo was able to rally the last couple months and really outsell the PS3, which was phenomenal because it was getting kind of destroyed earlier. And the Wii U ended up selling 880,088 units in Japan compared to the PS3's 824,167. Like I said, I'm not trying to compare it to such an old system or anything like that. I'm just saying that the PS3 was doing so much better, and the fact that Nintendo was able to, rally the Wii U and actually get it to a respectable amount, was definitely good. And 2014 is going to have major games, so looking forward to that. Of course, you can check that out on Playeressence.com. In the description below, I'll have all my articles that you can go to. Next, we're going to move on to Japan, the top 10 best-selling games. And why I like quoting Japan numbers is because they're very open about them, and they just give you the numbers exactly how it is. Of course, this doesn't count digital, but still, that's why I like reporting on them. So, the top 10 best-selling games in Japan for 2013. Number 10 was Wii Party U at 518,000. Next was New Super Mario Bros. U. Then after that, you can get all the actual numbers on Playeressence.com. So New Super Mario Bros. U was the next game. Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3 was the next game. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS, that was number 7. Puzzle & Dragon Z for the Nintendo 3DS, that was number 6. Dragon Quest VII, the remake, that was number 5. Tomodachi Collection on the 3DS, that was number 4. Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS, that was number 3. Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS, that was number 2. And number 1 was Pokemon X and Y on Nintendo 3DS. So as you can see here, it was pretty much all Nintendo games except for Grand Theft Auto. 2 Wii U games, the rest was 3DS games. Nintendo basically runs Japan. I don't know if that's going to stop anytime soon, but good news all around for the 3DS, and of course the Wii U's picking up a little bit too as well. All right, next we're going to move on to the Famitsu sales charts. Pokemon X and Y and the Nintendo 3DS once again dominate. Pokemon X and Y sold another, and this is basically for December 30th to January 5th. So that's the sales tracking period. Pokemon X and Y sells another 152,888 units for a total of 4,129,717 units combined. That is insane. That it sells. And you know, people talk about the UK. Sorry, the UK is not as big as it's not as big as a market as Japan. It is not the second leading market. Absolutely not. You look at these sales of some of these games, and it just absolutely crushes what the UK produces. Japan is second. It's second to the United States, but still, these numbers are very impressive for anywhere, not just any singular part. This is just impressive numbers overall for Pokemon. It is a mega hit franchise. I mean, you're just wondering when that game is going to come over to the Wii U. Because it needs to happen. Super Mario 3D World on the Famitsu charts. That also did very well. It's continuing to sell at a very steady pace. 60,397 units. Very good for the Super Mario 3D World. It should hit the 500,000 mark pretty soon here at 470,438 units. Should get there probably next week. Pretty good. All right, next the 3DS. That sold 187,920 units. Of course, 3DS is dominating, number 1 on the charts. Number 3 was the Wii U, right behind the PS Vita, and that sold 60,549 units. So overall, Nintendo's still doing a lot of good things. Over 200,000 units combined between the Wii U and the 3DS. So they're doing a lot of good stuff. All right, next, if you want the full sales charts, I didn't name all the games. You can get all the platforms, Playeressence.com, in the description below. You'll see the link there. Next, we're going to talk about some Shunin. They had an interview with Nintendo News, and they talked about Fast Racing Neo, and they gave new details on the game. And oh my gosh, this game is looking very, very good. They showed off basically, or the details of the interview was, it's going to support. Fast Racing Neo is going to support a wide array of online options. And for those who don't know, Fast Racing Neo is basically like F-Zero. They had another game called Fast Racing League on the WiiWare that was very good, but it had a lot of limitations. But with this game, it's just going to be pretty cool what they're going to do. They're using something like they said, like 4K assets or something like that for the game. I mean, it's going to be pretty. It's going to support a wider array of online options, like they said. The development team consists of only 5 people there. They're supporting all the control schemes that you could think of for the Wii U. Wii U Pro Controller, Wii U Gamepad, Nunchuck Bytes, or Wii Gamepad, Wii Remote, and Wii Nunchuck, all sorts of good stuff. So they have tons of control schemes. Shunin really wants a lot of users to get into this game. This isn't going to just be some small-time game. They want a lot of people to be playing it on the eShop, and I think that's going to happen. There's no release date as of now, and they do have another Wii U game in development. So there's not just Fast Racing Neo, there's more to come. All right, next we're going to go into our second to last story here. That is going to be China. They now allow the sale of foreign game consoles in there after 14 years of a ban there. And that is a big deal because going into my next topic here, that is going to basically turn the tables for Nintendo. So China has allowed the foreign consoles to be sold. Now it's just a matter of who's going to get there first, what's their market strategy going to be, how are they going to do things, and the Chinese government is basically allowed it. So we're going to see how this plays out. But this basically goes into my next story here, which is actually the main topic. All right, so we're back for the main topic here, and then there's news that broke out that basically said that Nintendo's value is now bigger than Sony's as a company. And when I first heard this news, I was flipping out. I was like, this has to be some type of mistake. This has to be something different. There's no way that this could possibly be. Sony has movies, Sony has TVs, they have laptops, they have camcorders, they have, in addition to their gaming division, they have all sorts of stuff. What is going on? But no, it's indeed true. The market cap doesn't necessarily say that Nintendo has more money than them. It's just that their market cap, as far as their stock's perceived value, is higher than theirs. And Sony's right now is at 17.7 billion with investors, while Nintendo's is at 18.4 billion. So just to tell you guys why this is significant, the fact that Nintendo is even close. Nintendo is basically a video game only production company. Now they do have, you know, other stuff. They have cards with Pokemon, they have t-shirts, they have other stuff, but it's not their sole main business. It's not like the Sony movies and all that. They're nowhere near as big as that. You know, Microsoft is bigger than both of them combined, you know. But the fact that that's really only because of Windows, not because of the Xbox division. But anyway, that's another thing. But the fact that Nintendo is even in this position, basically all of the clickbait, all of the trolls, all of the doom and gloom from a lot of these different places, you know, these different articles saying that Nintendo's going to go like Sega and all this, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not even warranted. Nintendo can just continue supporting the Wii U and make it into a profitable business by selling a lot of software and by just trying to maximize Wii U sales, which have already been going up. So the fact that Nintendo is even in this position to begin with basically just says a lot of what investors think compared to what is actually going on in the gaming industry. Because what's going on in the gaming industry and what's going on from the websites, they just think that Nintendo is just, things are just so horrible, but that's just not the case. You know, a lot of the main websites love to tell us how the Vita was going to just stomp the 3DS, how Nintendo was done. Like, seriously, every single website loved to talk about how the Vita was going to do this. And if, you know, I don't want to have any type of fallacies here or anything, but it would just be interesting to see the media's reaction if the 3DS and the Vita was switched around. How many articles we would see, like how many articles we'd see about how well the Vita is doing and all of that good stuff. Because, you know, they forget about the Vita because, like I said, every single website wanted to let us know about how the Vita was going to stomp them. And now that the 3DS is killing, you don't hear about how well the 3DS is doing. Everybody's just talking about the PS4. Everybody's talking about the Wii, the Xbox One. Everyone talks about how bad the Wii U is doing, but nobody wants to talk about how good the 3DS is doing. And that's one of the main reasons, just going into kind of more of the focus here with the whole Sony value or Nintendo valued as a bigger company, the 3DS. This is why the 3DS needs more attention. People are like surprised. Some people are like, well, even the writer of this couldn't even like, what's going on here? It's like derping all over the place. It's like, of course, Nintendo has sold over 40 million of these things. That's way more than the PS4 and the Xbox One and the PS Vita and the Wii U combined. It's way more than all of them, but it just gets lost in the shuffle from all of the trolling that goes on from Nintendo. But they had a bigger market cap because of that, and also because of what we talked about earlier, and that's China opening their doors. China has been selling basically on the gray market, as Nintendo would say, Nintendo 3DS, or sorry, DSs, and they have been selling very well. And there's a lot of stock, there's a lot of rumors going on that Nintendo has already acquired a distributor there, and that they're going to have a plan for either the Wii and the 3DS, or the 3DS and the Wii U, or some type of combination of those systems. And that's going to improve the market greatly, because instead of buying knockoffs, now they can buy the real thing. I think the 3DS would be huge in China because the DS is really big there. So the 3DS would be really, really, really big there. And I think that it could do a lot for Nintendo. And that's the reason why their market cap is going up. And like I said, regardless of how the Wii U is doing, Nintendo, if they can get into China, get that distributor and get the ball rolling, you're going to see a lot of good stuff coming out of there. You know, you're going to see a lot of more money being siphoned to Nintendo. And of course, they can take that money and invest it back into bringing, you know, getting more games, and of course having more studios, getting like Monolith Soft, stuff like that, is because Nintendo has money. So I want to see them get more so they can acquire Monolith Soft and make games like X and Shin Megami Tensei, and buy games like Bayonetta 2 and get games like Wonderful 101. So that's the reason why I want them to do well. You know, not only that, but Intelligent Systems also moved into a brand new building. That's because of the money that they're getting. So that's the reason why I want to see them do well and make money, because they're a business. They need to do, you know, they need to pay their employees and stuff. So very good news. I just think it's crazy. But I would also add an asterisk to this, that the reason why that Sony's in this position is basically because of their other studios are doing really bad. Now, some people were trying to say it's only because of that. That's not necessarily true. The PlayStation division was basically bleeding money throughout the whole era of the PS3. The PSP did not do enough software-wise. It sold a lot of consoles, but it was pirated a lot. the games were, and it just didn't sell enough software to be like a super profitable business. It was profitable, just not that much. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily all because of Sony's other divisions other than their gaming. The article that I did get this from, they said, oh well, their PlayStation business has been doing extremely well. That's not the case. Their PlayStation business have been doing okay, and the PS4 is doing good. But let's just get something straight: 4.2 million or whatever that's not enough. They need to sell a lot more than that. So it's way too early to say, oh well, PlayStation business is doing just fine. No, it's not. It's doing okay. It's doing okay, but it's not. They're not doing as great as the article, that you'll see linked to this as would have you believe like everything is just fine and dandy. But like I said, PlayStation division, it's fine. But remember, it wasn't too long ago that they were recording loss after loss after loss. The PlayStation division, and that's also the gaming division, the gaming hand too, and that they were selling their headquarters and stuff like that. So I just want to get that out there. But what do you guys think about Nintendo having a bigger market cap than Sony? How do you guys think that it might affect future games? What do you guys think Nintendo is going to do? Do you think that there's going to be more collaborations? That's what I'm thinking. There's going to definitely be more new buildings. Monolith Soft got a new building, now Intelligent Systems. So I think that's good. And it's just crazy. Hopefully Sony can pull themselves out. And it looks like the PS4 is doing well, but the Vita is still struggling mightily. It's still selling less than the Wii U, way less than that. So as far as week-to-week sales, overall, of course, it's at what it's at. But anyway, that basically wraps it up. Pretty much said everything I have to say on that, like I said, but there's way more Nintendo news. There was just so much that I couldn't get it all in. Make sure you check out Playeressence.com. In the description below, you'll see all the links to our partner networks, to all of the articles that I talked about. Everything that I said, that is all in the description below. Also, make sure you check out our original content tabs and our original content schedule. I'm doing Monday through Friday. We got brand new shows for you guys, so definitely check it out when you get a chance. All right, once again, this is Freds over here from Playeressence.com, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.